As we look at the how-to pray, I want to begin by saying that there are hundreds of ways that you could pray. Prayer is basically a conversation, and most of our conversations contingent upon who we're talking to are extremely different. So when you talk to God naturally, how you share. It's not a speech, it's not a recitation, it's a conversation. You have examples in Scripture on how to pray. In Matthew 6, you have the Lord's Prayer. That would be a great prayer to study. So, for the sake of being brief and giving you some starting points, I want to share with you 4 things that God has taught me. Number 1, gratitude first. Every morning for me is the same, and I would challenge you to get a morning cadence that never changes. For me, it's gratitude first. When my eyes open, I don't get up, I don't check my phone, I don't talk to my wife, I don't engage with my kids, I don't get my coffee. As my eyes open, before my feet ever move to the ground, I stop and tell God, thank you for another day. I tell God that His purpose for today must be bigger than me being in His presence in heaven. And when you understand that your purpose is that deep, it really opens your eyes to it, that God is not done with you here. I thank God for my spouse. I thank God for my kids. I thank God for little things that happened the day before or the week before. Sometimes it's things that happened a year ago, and they come to my mind, and I tell God, thank you. Sometimes it's a minute or 2. Sometimes it's 4 or 5 minutes. I just start the day with gratitude. I have a mentor that I follow. He has a sheet on his nightstand from A to Z, and he has things that he's thankful for, and he gets it every morning before he gets up, and he reads it. Number 1, gratitude first. Number 2, make a list. Make a list of people that you're going to pray for. I have a list that includes myself. I'm number 1 because I believe I need more prayer than anybody, and I know me better than anybody. I pray for myself, and then my spouse, and then my 5 children. My oldest is engaged. I pray for his fiance and their family. And I just have a list of people, pastors, missionaries, friends, neighbors, saved, lost, those that are hurting. I just pray for them all. And I don't have to spend, a minute or 2 on each name. I just call their name out. And sometimes God will have me rest there for a little bit and just specifically pray for them. Maybe I got a call the day before from one of my kids, and they're working through something. I'll lift that up. So make a list. And be consistent with that cadence. I'm praying for them every day, because when you lift others up in sacrificial prayer, you grow the most. So number 1, gratitude first. Number 2, make a list. Number 3, I have a goals list that I pray for. And that's when it really becomes about me kicking off my day. I know what my week, 2 week, 1 month, 90 days, year, I know what my goals are. And I put those back before God and say, God, help me accomplish this today. God, do a miracle today. I pray that every day. God, do a miracle today. Just my next breath is a miracle. Getting to where I'm going safely is a miracle. I believe God does miracles all day long. We just don't recognize it. So I ask God to bless my day, to favor my goals, to give me wisdom and insight into how He wants me to grow in order to achieve my goals. So it's really, I start with those 3 things: gratitude, prayers list, and then I lay out my vision before God on what I want my life to look like, and then ask Him to tweak that and change that. And the last one's going to be a little bit weird, but I finish my day with exercise. And I know this comes from left field when we're talking about prayer, but when I get into my morning cadence, it really is about finishing it off with whether I've just got through sipping coffee, but some time where it's just isolation. It's just me getting moving, and sometimes it's a walk. Sometimes it's I go for a ride. Sometimes sometimes I'll run. But I want to encourage you to get into a daily morning routine that doesn't ever change. Sometimes I have to fly out at 5:30 or 6 in the morning. I got to get up like at 3, 4. If I'm going to do my morning cadence, if I'm going to do my exercise where I kind of just work on my physical so that God can strengthen me, I got to get up earlier, and that's hard, but it is my goal to never break the cadence. Gratitude first, a list of people that I pray for, a list of my goals, and then I finish it off with something strenuous. I promise you this, if you'll begin that cadence in your life, everything about your life will nearly change immediately, and long term, you'll be a completely different person.